Hey everybody, it's Kent. Welcome to my Monday afternoon live. I think I'm gonna start doing this every Monday. I'll probably do it around around 3:30 probably. I know it's a little later today, but with daylight savings time, my auctions don't end until 7 tonight, so I have a little bit extra time. All right, so first I'm going to show you a few things that I have coming up on eBay. Actually, this one's listed right now. It's the annual register for 1776. This is a 5th edition, so I think it was published in the 1790s. And this one has some cool Revolutionary War contents, and then obviously the Declaration of Independence. So that one's really awesome. It was from my personal collection, but I have 2 or 3 copies, so I'm letting this one go. It's up on eBay right now. eBay seller Animal Vet 52. I have this really beautiful leather Bible. This is from 1859. This one is also up for auction right now on eBay. Again, all my auctions started at 99 cents plus shipping, so get yourself some deals. That one's probably worth about 200 to 300, maybe a little more. It might be worth closer to 400 because it's in such nice condition. People always love the clasps. And then this one I just listed today, so it won't be up for probably a little over a week. It's a huge vellum book. I think it's about 16 inches tall. The binding has seen its better days, but it's pretty good. Nice tight binding. Had a little bit of damage there on the spine. But there's the title page. The moral and philosophical works of Plutarch. It's French, published in Paris in 1618, I think is that date. Let me scoot closer. Check out that little engraving on the title page. You got America down there with the Native American. There you have Africa. Here you have Asia. And there you have Europa. Very cool book. So the moral and philosophical works of Plutarch, 1618. That one's pretty special. This one's going to be on eBay probably next week, starting at 99 cents. I think I paid over 300 for it, so hopefully this one does well, but it's going to bring whatever it brings. Okay, let me move these back. Whoa, and Justin's, my brother's trying to audio call me right now, but I'm going to ignore that. I have, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boxes to open. I'm going to show you quick. All this stuff is up on eBay right now. It's all up for auction. Got some nice 3 volumes of Castle's Household Guide. You got a scientific encyclopedia of recipes. Got some Francis Parkman. Got some Roosevelt. Got some Charles Dickens. Got a couple nice Civil War books, some religious books, some Saturday magazines. I just picked those up from Blue Moon Books in Stevens Point. Modern bindings, but they're from the 1830s. I don't think those are quite up on eBay yet, but they will be in the next few days. Lots of old school books. Just going to pan down quick. Got some Sir Walter Scott. We got Teddy Roosevelt. Got some John Fiske. There's that Bible I just showed you. Got some Wizard of Oz. Some Civil War books. Lots of great stuff. All right, back to the unboxing. What did I say? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 boxes. All right, got my scissors and my knife, and here we go. Hope everyone's having a great Monday. I'm a little late today. I ran to town to get my oil changed, and then tomorrow I am hopefully going to the Twin Cities go visit Midway, Used and Rare Books, and maybe a couple other places if I have a little time to do some book shopping. But I am for sure going to Midway. There's another Campaigns of the Civil War. This one covers the March to the Sea, Franklin and Nashville campaigns. We got With the Light Guns in 1861 to 1865. That's another Civil War. These are all Civil War books. With the Light Guns in 1861 to 1865. Reminiscence of 11 Arkansas, Missouri, and Texas light batteries in the Civil War by W.E. Woodruff II, published in 1903. There's a looks like a frontispiece of the first Lieutenant Omar R. Weaver. He was killed at the Battle of Oak Hill, August 10th, 1861. Very cool Civil War book. Military Light Rock. See, I think it looks like there's a couple other illustrations as well. Oh, there's a map. Cool map of a Civil War battle. Looks like we got a register of some of the soldiers and officers. Very cool. That one's kind of hard to find and pretty pricey. I think all of these will be up on eBay. Might put a couple in the bookstore, but most of them will be up on eBay here in about 2 weeks. The Lone Star Defenders. The Lone Star Defenders, A Chronicle of the 3rd Texas Cavalry, Ross's Brigade by S.B. Barron of the 3rd Texas Cavalry, published in 1908. There you go, you got the flag for the 3rd Texas. We got G.A. McKee, Private Company C, 3rd Texas Cavalry. That's pretty cool. Looks like this one has quite a few illustrations. You got Frank M. Taylor, the first captain of Company C of the 3rd Texas. Let's see, this chapter covers the close of the Atlanta campaign. Chapter on my last battle. We got Lieutenant S.B. Barron. See what we got to say. General McCook was in command of the forces that had come in so unexpectedly, and learning that Colonel Chaddock was at home, showed great anxiety to capture him, so much so that he visited his home in person. Finding Mrs. Chaddock there, he interrogated her as to the whereabouts of her husband. She told him that Colonel Chaddock was not at home. He seemed incredulous and cross-questioned her closely. When something in her tone or her favor led him to change the conversation, he said to her, "Madam, where are you from?" She answered, "I come from Steubenville, Ohio." "I am also from Steubenville, Ohio. What is your maiden name?" She answered, "My maiden name was Cook." Very cool. Don't really read too many history books, but that one seems interesting. The Fight for the Missouri, or the Fight for Missouri. Oh, there's part of a map. There's the rest of the map. The Fight for Missouri, from the election of Lincoln to the death of Lyon, by Thomas L. Snead, with maps 1888. See if the other maps are a little nicer. Well, I don't see any other maps. That one's a little rough. But if you wanted a nice reading copy, that would do. The 75th Pennsylvania at Shiloh, History of the Regiment, published in 1908. There you got some portraits. Oh, that is the Pennsylvania Shiloh Battlefield Commission. Portraits. Chapter 1, Recruiting for the Regiment. Chapter 2, Pittsford Landing, Battle of Shiloh. Company E joins the regiment. Siege of Corinth. Oh, there we go. This one has some nice maps. Really cool maps in this one. got some nice illustrations or photos of the monuments. Very cool. Up next, we have Famous Adventures and Prison Escapes of the Civil War, published in 1915. I know a lot of book dealers say that the market for Civil War books is kind of dead, or it's dying, but I don't know, I seem to do pretty well with them. Nicely illustrated. Conscription and Conflict in the Confederacy by Albert Burton Moore, published in 1924. Let's see, the military system of the Confederacy to April 1862, the first Conscription Act and its reception, substitution, salutary exemption, the fruits of the first Conscription Act, the second act, and the problems of enforcement, the courts and conscription, the dual system, Confederate versus state authority in the lower South, etc., etc., etc. Cool. Book on conscription in the Confederate States in the Civil War. Looks like this is part of the Great Commander series. This is Admiral Farragut by Captain A.T. Mahan, published in 1895. There you got a frontispiece illustration of Mr. Farragut. Looks like this one has some maps. This one's kind of seen its better days, but it's a pretty cool old book on Navy stuff. Ordnance Instructions for the U.S. Navy, Part 1, relative to the preparation of vessels of war for battle and to the duties of officers and others when in quarters. Part 2 covers the equipment and maneuver of boats and exercises of boat howitzers. Part 3 is Ordnance and Ordnance Stores. This was published in 1866, so right after the Civil War. Oh, and it looks like it has some illustrations as well. That's pretty cool. Very cool book, Civil War era Navy book. Lots of really cool technical information. A lot of charts and tables, as well as illustrations. Very cool. Again, I think almost all these will probably be on eBay next week. And hopefully tomorrow I am going to Midway Books in St. Paul. Hopefully make a video showing you what I bought there. All right, here we have the assassination of President Lincoln and the trial of the conspirators. The courtroom testimony as originally compiled by Ben Pittman with an introduction by Philip Van Doren Stern. This one's copyright 1954. There you got a photo of Ford's Theater. As well as I think Lincoln was sitting up in one of those boxes, the balcony boxes. That's pretty cool. We got the testimony from the trial. Let's see, the argument on the plea to the jurisdiction of the military commission. Cool book on the assassination of Mr. Lincoln. All right, on to the next box. right, this is the Bible. Definitely a little shabby old leather Bible. Seen its better days, but I think it's pretty early. The Holy Bible containing the Old and New Testament, published in Hartford in 1822. So it's pretty early for a Bible. 1822, coming up on over 200 years old. About 202 years old. So yeah, definitely a little shabby, but for a 200-year-old Bible, not horrible. Looks like it has all the pages. So that's a plus. Holy buckets, this person used all the priority supplies. Shame on them. Dang, layer after layer after layer, but I made it to the final layer of bubble wrap. Oh, no, just kidding. Looks like bubble wrap and then another plastic bag, but I think we can get both of these off at the same time. Ooh, there we go. Carefully slide that out. Okay, we got the Olive Fairy book. Beautiful condition. That one's pretty nice. I know the fairy books by Andrew Lang are extremely popular. I might try to put a set together for myself at some point, but prices, especially for first editions, are just nuts. To get a really nice first edition, you're talking $200 to $300. Some people ask almost like as much as $500 a piece. This is the Olive Fairy book, edited by Andrew Lang, illustrated, published in 1929. Yeah, first editions, extremely hard to get for reasonable prices. They're highly sought after. Everyone fights over them whenever nice copies do come up for sale. You can get junky copies for about $50. But they're just awesome books. All of them have really great fairy tales. Let's see. This one has The Blue Parrot, The Story of Little King Lock, Jekyll or Tiger, Samba the Coward, Diamond Cut Diamond, the Green King, the Green Knight, The Golden Headed Fish, never heard of that one. The Billy Goat and the King, The Fate of the Turtle, The Snake Prince, The Prince and Princess in the Forest, The Clever Weaver, The Boy Who Found Fear at Last, He Wins Who Waits, The Steel Cane, The Punishment of the Fairy, Ganganon, and The Silent Princess. I haven't heard of many of those, but a lot of them have Hans Christian Andersen and the Grimm brothers, as well as many other fairy tale stories compiled from a bunch of different authors. See what we got. Looks like a modern binding on a very old book. We have The Catechist, Catechized, or Loyalty Asserted in Vindication of the Oath of Allegiance against a New Catechist, set forth by a Father of the Society of Jesus, to which is annexed a decree made by the Fathers of the same Society against the said oath, by Adolphus Brontius, a Roman Catholic, published in 1681. So this one is very, very old. Fourth chapter. In this chapter, he begins to take the oath asunder and divides it into two promissory, and against each part moves many vain and impertinous scruples. Everything he meets, which is a giant, but in his own creation, his first encounter is against the assertory part. I'm not going to read that. It's old language, and I'm not smart enough to understand it. Check out the little wormholing. That's what I call that, when the little bookworms that like to eat paper burrow through pages and eat these tiny little holes. But again, nice little modern binding on a 17th century religious book. I think these books I got pretty reasonable. Let's see, I want to see prices. I don't remember. All right, up next looks like we have another very old religious book. Looks like it's in French, published in Paris in 1772. Cool frontispiece illustration on that one. All the little angels. Another nice engraving. I don't remember if this one... Oh, it's a music book. Dur, dur, dur. Yeah, this is just volume 1. What did I say? 1770 something? Oh, here's part 2. Yep, 1772 in French. Oh, look at her playing the organ. Wow, that's pretty cool. They had organs back in 1772. Wow, very cool music book. And I think this binding is probably original to that era. Very nice. All right, last one for that box. The Beauties of a Religion, a poem addressed to youth in 5 books by Elijah Fitch, published in Providence in 1789. The Beauties of Religion, Book 1. Let others sing of heroes and their feats, of earth-born beauties and their matchless charms, whose glories brighten oft by ignominious and inglorious deeds far and wide to spread, dire devastation over embattled realms, to stain the earth with crimson, kingdoms shake, cities and empires turn to ruinous heaps, procure the wreath and plume the conqueror's brow, religion be my theme, thy glory sing. I think my rhythm was off on that poetry reading. That's why it didn't sound so beautiful. All right, got a nice copy of Anderson's Fairy Tales. Fairy Tales and Stories by Hans Christian Andersen, translated by Dr. H.W. Dulchen, with 15 illustrations and 5 in color. This one probably has a bunch more stories you'd recognize. The Tinderbox, The Ugly Duckling, The Red Shoes, Thumbelina, The Fir Tree, The Snow Queen, The Nightingale, etc., etc., etc. A lot of great classic fairy tales. I think, did Hans Christian Andersen, did he write Cinderella? Or in Sleeping Beauty, or was that the Brothers Grimm? I don't remember. All right, here we got a pretty leather book. Army List 1828. Beautiful leather binding. I believe this is a UK military book. A list of the officers of the Army and Royal Marines on full, retired, and half pay with an index 1827. Beautiful leather binding on that one. And the reason I bought this one is because it has a 4-edge painting. Pretty decent 4-edge painting. So when the book's closed, the page edges are just gilded. But when you splay them, I think that's what you call when you splay them, there's a nice scene. It looks like you got some soldiers lined up there nicely. Hope you got the dogs, you got the people on bikes. So yeah, beautiful 4-edge painting. Again, not the most special book. The Army List from 1827, a list of Army officers. Nice leather binding and 4-edge painting. I'll show you that again. Pretty nice 4-edge painting on this one. So the book is from 1827. I think 4-edge paintings were mostly done towards the late 1800s, early 1900s. They were probably really popular, and there's still artists doing them today, but it's really hard to say unless they're signed. Occasionally you'll find a 4-edge painting that's signed. Otherwise, it's really hard to tell when they were done and by who, but beautiful book. Hope everyone's having a great Monday afternoon. It's been a nice day. Got my listing done. I got a couple hours till my auctions end. And then tomorrow I'm taking the day off and going to the Twin Cities, going to Midway Rare Books for sure. Maybe making a couple other stops. See how much free time I have. I think it's probably about maybe a 2-hour, 20-minute drive to the Twin Cities from Marshfield. All right, this is a person I buy a lot from. He lists book lots on eBay. He lists a couple lots a week, and he always throws in an extra. So this one wasn't listed in the lot, but I always appreciate it when he gives me an extra book or two. Nice copy of We by Charles Lindbergh, published in 1928. Very nice. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I don't know if he watches my YouTube videos, but if he does, thank you. All right, here we have a 2-volume set, The Physiology of Man by Mr. Flint. Looks like this volume covers alimentation, digestion, and absorption. This one publishes or covers blood circulation and respiration. Let's see when those are from. The Physiology of Man. This is volume 2 by Austin Flint, published in 1867. And again, that one covers alimentation, digestion, and absorption. This one's from 1866. Let's see what kind of chapters this one has. The blood, the composition of the blood, the coagulation of the blood, the circulation of the blood, the frequency of the heart's action, circulation of the blood in the arteries, circulation of the blood in the capillaries, circulation of the blood in the veins, peculiarities of circulation in different parts of the system, respiration, movements of expiration, movements of expiration, changes with which the air undergoes in respiration, changes in the blood in respiration, and relations of respiration to nutrition, etc. Oh, it does look like it has some illustrations. Very cool book on physiology. Got a nice copy of Manners, Culture, and Dress. Cool book on etiquette. I think this one's from 1891. Manners, Culture, and Dress of the Best American Society, including social, commercial, and legal forms, letter writing, invitations, etc. Also valuable suggestions on self-culture and home training by Richard A. Wells. Illustrated, published in 1891. Let's see what kind of illustrations this one has. Oh, dress. Well-bred people give careful attention to their personal appearance. If vanity, pride, or prudery have frequently given to those attention of the names of coquetry, ambition, or folly, it is no reason why they should be neglected. First impressions, consistently in dress, plain dressing, too rich dressing, elegant dressing, appropriate and becoming dress, neglect of dress, habitual attention to attire, an amiable exterior, dress, the appropriate finish of beauty, taste, simplicity in dress, delicacy and harmony, using paints, color and complexion, dress to suit the occasion, evening dress, etc., etc., etc. Here we got a chapter on the home with a nice illustration. Riding and driving. In these days of fast locomotion, etc., the very delightful recreation and exercise of riding on horseback is partaken of too little. This is to be regretted, for nothing is better calculated to develop the physical health and animal spirits. Nothing is more seductive to pleasure of the rational character than the ride on horseback upon every pleasant day. Very cool. It's one of my favorites. Portraits and Principles. Portraits and Principles of the World's Great Men and Women, with practical lessons on successful life by over 50 leading thinkers. Designed and arranged by William C. King, with over 400 illustrations. Published in 1894. All right. See if we recognize any of these names. Nope, I don't. The Fruits of Honesty, Commercial Courage, The Power of Perseverance, Requisites for a Business Education, The Value of a Sound Body, Rare Use of Common Sense, Waiting for Something to Turn Up, Luck in Labor, Reaping Without Sowing, Everything You Need to Know to Be Successful in 1894. Kind of a self-help guide. Individual Responsibility, Mental and Moral Growth, Duty Before Glory, The Danger of Riches, True Magnanimity, Perils of Success, Gamblers and Gambling. I should probably read that chapter. The Wrecks of Wall Street, Our Great Ledger Account, Life's Great Guidebook. Cool self-help book from 1894. The World's Progress. Again, these are all pretty good condition. I'm sure they're halfway common, but almost always these Victorian era books, the inside hinges are splitting. But these survived pretty good. The world's progress as wrought by men and women in art, literature, education, philanthropy, reform, inventions, business, and personal life. Prepared under the supervision of William C. King, illustrated 1897. Nice frontispiece on that one with the Statue of Liberty. See what kind of contents we got. Philanthropy, women's philanthropy, discoveries and explorers, women of the platform, teaching and preaching, a women's part in music, the business world, women in business, men in machinery, women's associations, etc., etc., etc. Pretty cool. Hope everyone's having a great Monday. Feel free to leave a comment down there if you got any questions. Just want to say hi. Trees and Shrubs of Massachusetts in 2 volumes. I think the first edition was published in the 1890s. See when these are from. A report on the trees and shrubs growing naturally in the forests of Massachusetts by George B. Emerson in 2 volumes. 5th edition, published in 1903. The European Alder. I think this one probably has tons and tons and tons of illustrations of different trees. So if you're into trees, especially trees of the New England area, this is the set for you. Again, these will be on eBay probably in 2 weeks. eBay seller, Animal at 52 if you don't know. I do offer international shipping now. Going to my international customers, feel free to do some bidding. The True George Washington. The True George Washington by Paul Lancaster Ford, published in 1897. There's a portrait of Mr. Washington from 1795. Oh, what do they got to say about his physique? Nor did his hearing remain entirely good. Maclay noted at one of the president's dinner in 1789 that he seemed to be in good humor than I've ever saw him, though he was so deaf that I believe he heard little of the conversation. And 3 years later, the president is reported as saying to Jefferson that he was sensible too of the decay of his hearing. Perhaps his other faculties might fall off and he not be sensible of it. Cool biography of Mr. George Washington, first president of the USA. 2 years Before the Mast by Richard H. Dana Jr. Cool nautical book. 2 years Before the Mast, a personal narrative by Richard Henry Dana Jr., illustrated by E. Boyd Smith, 1923. Got some nice color plates in this one. Beautiful color plates. As well as some in-text illustrations as well. At the beginning of each chapter. Man overboard. And then the end papers have a map. They're the same. Nope, they're different. The California coast. Cool nautical book. All right, Seaman All by E. Keppel Chatterton. Really nice condition. No date. Guess 1920s maybe. Looks like it has all kinds of interesting chapters on different nautical themes. No illustrations. Pretty nice. Captain Simeon's Store. What a pretty nautical landing on that one. Got the ships and the anchors and the nets and the rope. On the spine you have another anchor. Captain Simeon's Store by George S. Wasson, published in 1903. Looks like a bunch of old sailors sharing stories, their adventures at sea. Again, beautiful binding on that one. I like it. The Art of the Metropolitan Museum of New York by David C. Pryor. The Art of the Metropolitan Museum of New York, giving a description and critical account of its treasures, which represent the art and crafts from remote antiquity to the present time, by David C. Pryor, illustrated, published in 1909. Show you some of the illustrations in this one. Nice illustration of some paintings. Oh, here's a chapter on metalwork. Let's see, there's a chapter on Flemish paintings. Metalwork, ceramics, got a chapter on ceramics. Textiles and laces. Let's see. Okay, we got sculpture, Italian paintings, Flemish paintings, Dutch paintings, German paintings, Spanish, French paintings, English paintings, American paintings, metalwork, ceramics, glass, textiles, and laces, etc. Cool book. Some of the amazing art at the Metropolitan Museum of New York. That one would be great for any art lover in your life. Hilda Strafford by Beatrix Harridan. Pretty binding on that one. Oops. A California Story, published in 1897. Looks like you got a nice frontispiece of the author. And then we got Walden by Henry David Thoreau. Pretty little one. Not too special. It's a little bugger, but pretty great condition. Pretty binding. Quaint. I would call it quaint. Not too extravagant or showy. No date, but I would guess that one's from right around 1900. Again, really nice condition. And quaint. Pretty and quaint. Alright, let's see what this big bugger is. This one came all the way from the UK. I've been buying quite a bit overseas, mostly from the UK lately. I think to ship a big, heavy box of books like this, I think it probably weighs 30 some pounds, maybe about 40 pounds. It costs about 120 bucks. And I think to ship a box like this from the US to the UK would be just insane. Like, I would think it'd be over 200 bucks. I don't know how that works. How they can ship a book here for like 18 bucks and then it costs 30 bucks for me to ship it back. Doesn't make too much sense to me, but let's see what we got. All right, this was a lot of old leather Bibles. Got the parallel Bible. The Holy Bible containing the New and Old Testaments, 1885. Pretty great condition. I mean, I would have bid on all these Bibles one at a time, but they sold them as a lot. I think there was 10, maybe more. This one is missing the first title page and front end papers, but then you can go to the second title page to find the year. assuming that the second title page is present. There we go. The New Testament, 1848. So it sucks when the first few pages are missing. But that's a little trick. If you have an Old and New Testament, just find the second title page. And it's from 1848, so I guess you can be a little lenient on condition. Man, beautiful. I wasn't completely sure what the condition would be of these Bibles, but I mean, that's really, really awesome. I might put a couple of these in the store, and then the rest will go on eBay. I'd like to stagger them on eBay. I'm not going to list all 10 Bibles in one day on eBay. The Holy Bible containing the Old and New Testament. I don't see a date, but I would guess that one might be... See if the second title page has a date, but I kind of doubt it. Nope, no date. I'm thinking that one might be from the 1860s. There's a inscription from the previous owner, 1881. I think it might be a hair earlier than that. But it's 1881 or earlier, I guess, so that kind of helps. Now, Bible. Man, I am shocked how awesome these Bibles are. Holy Bible, published in 1854. I mean, pretty decent condition for being a 170-year-old Bible. Oh, no, yeah, 1854. Yep, it's 170 years old. Pretty nice. Another nice leather Bible. Nice marbled edge or end papers and page edges. I always love when they do that. Holy Bible, published in 1835. So very early. I don't think the binding's quite that early, but it's definitely a 19th century binding. Man, these are awesome. I'm definitely a little excited about these. I'll probably put 2 of them. I just sold a nice old leather Bible in the store last week, so I might put 1 or 2 of these in the store. And the rest will be up on eBay. A couple weeks. Holy Bible, Old and New Testament, 1878. That one looks like the front cover hinges splitting, but otherwise, tight binding. And again, I was kind of shocked to find someone selling a collection of Bibles that was this good. Another Bible, 1853. I'll put these on eBay one at a time, and they should bring, for sure, 50 to 75. Some of them might bring over $100. They're just really good. Bibles are one of my top sellers. I get tons and tons of watchers and viewers. Another Bible, once again. Old and New Testament, published in 1866. So these mostly were published in London. They'd be better if they were published in the US, but that's all right. Got a nice inscription. Let's see what it says. The Lancasterian School, Scarborough, the 10th of May, 1867, presented by Robert Tyndale Esquire to George Nolan for attendance, good contact, and improvement. So that one was given as a gift to a student. Very cool. Looks like we got a couple more. Again, these were listed as one lot on eBay. I think it was an auction. I think it started at $1 plus shipping. So I think I had to pay low 200s plus 100 something. Oh, there goes the spine on that one. Plus probably 140-ish for shipping. The Holy Bible, 1829. So again, that one's kind of rough, but it is almost a 200-year-old Bible, so we can be a little forgiving. All right, last one for that box. Again, kind of on the rougher side of condition. But again, the binding's tight. The covers are attached. Spine's a little mangled, but we got the Holy Bible containing the Old and New Testament, published in 1839. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to hit that like button. Throw some comments down there if you got any questions or just want to say hi. All right, 3 more boxes. Then I'm going to take a break, ship a couple things, maybe answer some emails. For those of you that don't know, I'm eBay seller Animal at 52. Most of the books in this video will be up for auction in the next 2 weeks. These also came from the UK. The Story of Nations. I think they're mostly 1890s and early 1900s. Russia by W.R. Morfill, second edition, published in 1891. I usually do really well with these Story of Nation books as long as they're in good condition. Got Spain and Russia. I think I bought this lot. They only cost me about 10 or 12 bucks a piece with shipping from the UK, so that was pretty great. Most of these will probably sell for 30 to 40 bucks. We got Assyria, Alexander's Empire, that's Alexander the Great, and Hungary. The ancient history ones usually do really great. Might bring 40 to 50 bucks a piece, or some of them might sell cheap and you might get some deals. We got Parthia and Switzerland. I don't remember how many books were in this lot. That's South Africa, the Saracens, and Portugal. I could list some of these as buy it now. I was trying to get 50 bucks or best offer, but I don't know. I haven't spent any time listing buy it nows, and gosh, it's probably been almost 2 years since I've listed a buy it now. Trying to phase out, just auction everything off, hope for the best. Some stuff sells really cheap, some sells really good, and these, I gave 10 or 12 bucks a piece, so I don't think might lose money on a couple of them. But the Goths, medieval France, and Sicily. Anyone has any questions or comments, feel free to throw it in the chat there. Feel free to hit that like button. What do we got? We got Rome, the Tuscan Republics, and Media, or Media, however you say it. All of these, here, I'll show you the Rome one. All of these are illustrated, and they usually each have a few maps. Rome, from the earliest times to the end of the Republic, by Arthur Gilman, published in 1891. Got the nice frontispiece, the Colosseum. And then usually they have a folding map, for sure, one folding map. And then they usually have quite a few illustrations and a couple other maps as well. Got the Roman war vessel. These are just really great, I think. I'm not sure how many were in the Story of Nations series. I'm thinking there must be over 50 or maybe even over 60 different titles in this series. There you got Cassius Julius Caesar. Got the interior of a Roman house. Golly, it's quite a house. Got an elephant in armor. interior of the forum. Got Marcus Tullius Cicero. Oh, there's another map. There we go. This is a map of ancient Rome. Very nice. I didn't see... Usually there's a few in-text maps as well. But I don't see any. I'm sure they're in there somewhere. I might put a few in these in the bookstore as well. But most of them will be on eBay. All right, here we have the Barbary Corsairs. I think that one has something to do with Africa. We got Phoenicia and Hansa towns. Is that in France? Could be. All right, last three, again, of the Story of Nations series. We have Germany, modern Spain, and Jews under the Romans. Very nice. And they're all pretty nice condition. A lot of those, I think most of them are from the 1890s. There might be a few from the early 1900s. So many of them that I get, the inside hinges are splitting, or they have library markings. Three more boxes. These also came from Joe. And these are they're books, they're bound collections of different newspapers and periodicals. And I think they go from like the 1860s to the mid 1900s. There's a few like Harper's and Scribner's, and then there's a few like, I don't know. Some of them are exciting, some are very, very unexciting. I did just sell. There was a nice gentleman in here. Shout out to Tracy if he's watching this video. He bought a bunch of Scribner's magazines here at the store that have been sitting down on the floor on the back side. So I gave him a pretty good deal. Here we have Blackwood's magazine, 1843. Let's see, Blackwood's magazine, February 1843. Arnold's Lectures on History. I think, isn't some of the Poe stuff? I think some of the Blackwood magazines have Edgar Allan Poe stuff, which I have no idea. Let's see, this one covers Dumas in Italy. Marston, or the Memoirs of a Statesman. Not sure how exciting these are. Nothing else. They're from the 1840s, so that's a plus. Blackwood's magazine, 1843 again. Oh, here we go. We got the contents. Marston, English Music and English Musicians. The Philhellenic Drinking Song. The Prairie and the Swamp. An Adventure in Louisiana. The Aristocracies in England. Jack Stewart's Bet on the Derby and how he paid his losses. Scrope on Salmon Fishing. The Whippiad, a satirical poem. Charles Edward at Versailles. Early Greek Romance and Past and Present by Thomas Carlyle. What do you think? Oh, Cultivator, Old Farming. Guess it would have been a magazine or a newspaper, whatever, a journal, whatever you want to call it. The Cultivator, a monthly publication designed to improve the soil and the mind. 1838. So this one has lots of stuff on crops and gardening, but then there's also chapters on livestock and poultry and animals and barn building. Let's see here. We got skinless oats. We got wild carrots. We got ribbon grass. I don't think this one has many illustrations at all. I think there's a few tiny. Let's see. We got management of calves. Hints to mothers. Experiments with Indian corn. Potatoes. Yeah, not many illustrations, but still cool old farming book from 1838. That one might bring 40 to 50 if I'm lucky. It might only bring 30. What do we got? The Rotarian, 1953. This one might not be too exciting. The Rotarian, an international magazine on the Rotary Club. Some people might buy these. Oh, polio, the last round. Some people might buy these for the ads if they have interesting full-page ads in them. Not sure how exciting this periodical really is. The values we defend. That's one that's not too exciting as far as I'm concerned. Scientific American, 1964. Again, being from the 1960s. I guess it probably has some cool, plenty of interesting contents, but I don't know. Being from 1960, that one's not too exciting. 1964. Next we have Outlook magazine, 1927. Again, nicely bound in a book. The Outlook, an illustrated weekly of current life. Let's see what kind of contents this one has. Uncle Sam's affects a cure, crime in youth, wholesale arson, why Mississippi chose a demagogue. Exit Necator Americanus, Jones Triumph Again, Irving House, War Dangers in Peacetime, Egypt's Grand Old Man Dies, Hungary's Prime Minister. So it looks like a magazine on the mastermind of prohibition. Looks like a book on foreign affairs and politics and government and economics. And again, if it was from World War I or World War II era, it might have a little more appeal. But you never know. I haven't looked any of these up. Probably just going to auction them all off and hope for the best. Someone will buy it and love it. All right, Survey, 1922. The Survey. Is that one also political? Assuming that one is also kind of political. All right, second to last box. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Feel free to throw any questions down there if you have them. I'm live right now. It's Monday night, but then I think I'll post this one again. So if you're watching right now, Monday night, it's live. If you're watching later, it's not live. But you can still comment. Do my best to reply to comments. If you got any questions or want to know more about any of these books. All right, here we have Don Ho's Magazine, 1879. Don Ho's Magazine, a monthly composed of tales, the drama, biography, episodes in Irish and American history, poetry, music, miscellany, etc. Volume 1, 1879. I'm not sure if this one has... See if this one has anything interesting. Let's see. A New Year's Story, A Liar and the Libeler, A Girl That Will Make Her Way in the World, Alas, Portrait, A Noble Boy, Archbishop Michael, Ancient Irish Manuscripts, A Serpent Among the Books, An Irish Poet in a Nameless Grave, Another Possible Difficulty for England, etc., etc., etc. Not the most interesting book in the world, but a nice old leather book, 1879. Oh, we got another Donahoe's, 1884. Donahoe, that makes sense that it's Irish and American contents. Another Donahoe's, 1881. Nothing else, they're beautiful leather books. And again, if you're going to buy something to read, why not buy a book from 1881? Another Donahoe, 1902. Appreciate everyone watching. Hope everyone had a great Monday. Tomorrow I'm taking the day off and going to the Twin Cities. Going to do a little book shopping. For sure, stop at Midway, Used and Rare Books. The Bostonian Society Publications. Well, there's a frontispiece of a Boston lighthouse. This one was published in 1910. The contents, we got Chapter 1, Boston's Lanes and Alleys. Chapter 2, The Dutch Pirates in Boston. That's interesting. That one covers 1694 to 1695. The Story of Boston Light. Assume that one's about lighthouses. The Site of Faneuil Hall. And then Index. Got the Armory of the Sea Fencibles. Cool book on Boston history. McClure's Magazine. McClure's Magazine, Illustrated, Volume 4, December 1894 to May 1895. This is probably one that just has a crazy variety of contents. Here we got Mr. Napoleon Bonaparte. More Napoleon. Oh, what's this one on? Portraits of Robert Louis Stevenson. That one's kind of cool. There's baby Robert, or no. That looks like a little girl, but I guess that is toddler Robert Louis Stevenson. Why is he wearing a dress? Is that a dress? I can't tell. Guess that's why I thought it was a girl. Sorry, gender stereotypes. Oh, we got Arthur Conan Doyle. Let's see what we got about him. Oh, Reflections of Captain Wilkie, a story by an old offender by Arthur Conan Doyle. Who can he be, thought I, as I watched my companion in the second-class carriage of the London and Dover Railway. I had been so full of the fact that my long-expected holiday had come at last, and that for a few days at least the gaieties of Paris were about to be superseded, the dull routine of the hospital wards, that we were well out of London before I observed that I was not alone in my compartment. Very cool. I'm going to mark that one off. Sometimes these old magazine-type publications, if you find something interesting, if they got Mark Twain or Teddy Roosevelt or Arthur Conan Doyle, help sell them if you put that in the title on eBay. Or, you know, serious Arthur Conan Doyle collectors want to get some of his earliest printed stuff, which is often in these little literary magazines. Cartoons Magazine, 1917. Cartoon magazines. That one's definitely World War I related. this one is awesome. Holy crap. That one is excessively illustrated. I know old cartoon stuff does really well. There's lots of people that collect old newspaper comics. And this is a magazine dedicated to comics. And again, 1917, World War I era. Wow, that one is kind of special. Again, cartoon magazine, 1917. That one's great. And I always appreciate, sometimes when they bind them, they take out the front covers of the magazines, and like this one has nice color front covers. And there's so many instances where those get removed when they get bound. So I'm glad those survived in the book. Atlantic Monthly, volume 12, published in 1863. So this one's Civil War era. Not sure how much Civil War contents are in it. I'm sure there's some. But again, this one was also not all history. But hopefully it has some interesting Civil War stuff in it. All right, we got Little's Living Age. Again, one of those publications that has a hodgepodge of different contents. Let's see what the July one. Oh, that's 1848. The Waif, St. Giles and St. James, the late Thomas Hood, Alan Cunningham, St. Helena Tactics, Defense and Resources of Canada, The Crusade and the Curse, Recollections of Military Service, The French in Algiers, All England for Free Trade, The Duke of Wellington, The Reminiscent, Slade Trade Suppression Treaty. Interesting contents, but it's just like such a crazy variety that it's hard to sell some of these. All right, what do we got? We got the Connecticut Quarterly. The Connecticut Quarterly, an illustrated magazine devoted to the literature, history, and picturesque features of Connecticut, Volume 1, January 1895 to December 1895. Huh, I don't think I've ever seen any of the Connecticut Quarterlies. Pretty cool. Book on Connecticut history. Lots of interesting contents. Perfect for the Connecticut. See, we're in Wisconsin, we're Wisconsinites. What are Connecticut folks? What do they call them? Connecticuts? Connecticutians? No idea. Cool book on Connecticut history. All right, last box. Let's see what we got. Whew, coming up over an hour and a quarter. Again, I'm probably going to try to do this every Monday, as long as I have something interesting to show off and a little bit of free time. It'll probably be, I will probably try to get started closer to 3:30 Central Time. I was a little late today, and my eBay auctions start a little late, so it works out. But I'll try to do this every Monday around 3:30 Central Time. For some reason my comments aren't showing up on here, but I do see them on my computer. Yep, 2 years before the mass, Tracy. I don't know if you're still watching, but I do see your comment over there. It's not showing up on my phone. I don't know why. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. All right, that's a big one. The New Republic, 1947. This one is surprisingly light considering how huge it is. It's probably 4 inches thick. The New Republic, a journal of opinion. I think this one's mostly on politics, economics, government. Let's see, what do we got here? The rent mix-up, a report from Tokyo, decision in China, our airborne president, Burma revisited, politics and oil, and the opportunity for the GOP, Mexican agriculture, plowless farming, production not strikes, Chiang's anticlimax, the economic woodchuck, crime and punishment, opera at home. So yeah, mostly political stuff. New Republic, Germany as Moscow conference opens. Who do we got here? Oh, Mr. Graham Bell, Alexander Graham Bell. Wave of the past. In 1798, America's ruling Federalists set up a reign of terror against Democrats and aliens, only to be repudiated. So it looks like this one has all kinds of stuff on political history, a little bit related to World War II and earlier stuff. Who do we got there? Using economic blackmail. Piran now threatens Chile, Uruguay, and Bolivia. So again, lots of interesting political contents. Palestinians' tension revolves around illegal immigration from Europe. Teamwork in the grassroots. Rural America is improving its schools and hospitals and farms by cooperative action that puts the community first. Interesting publication, 1947. Outlook Magazine, 1927. Outlook Magazine, 1922. Nice leather one. Punch Magazine. That's a British publication. Punch Magazine, 1871. This one, usually the Punch magazines have all kinds of really interesting illustrations and political stuff. The gigantic gooseberry and a frog. Not sure what that one has to do with. A lot of political cartoons. You can understand the politics from that era. Ajax defying the lightning. I really like Punch magazines. Sorry if some of these are offensive. They had different standards back then. Again, 1871 Punch magazine. This one just has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of illustrations. Rome, 1871. Got Italy leading the horse. Again, lots of little details. Oh, I like that one. The Real Cap of Liberty. The British Lion. What can that cap promise that my crown doesn't reform? Got the newspaper with great hole in the wall. Got the lion knocking the Republican hat off. Looks like to replace it with a crown. Again, you got the donkey and the lion. Again, Punch magazine, 1871. Oh, got another Punch magazine, 1912. One of these Punch magazines has an early printing of, I think, Winnie the Pooh. The Fight for the Ashes, all in one. Got the kangaroo and the lion playing tug of war with a little thing of ashes. I'm not sure what exactly that symbolizes, but something political, I assume. We got the cotton strike, alligator / crocodile. Got the cabinet. Looks like a guy riding a donkey, and then you got the man in the ballerina outfit. Again, I'm not smart enough to interpret stuff related to the politics of 1912. But I'm sure it was interesting and funny for its time. I think I have one more box coming from this was one collection of 30 some bound periodicals. So I think there's one more box coming from this purchase. Again, like each one of these has like so much symbolism. You got the guy falling out of the barrel. It says Home Rule first reading. Then you got Home Rule second reading on the fence. Looks like the barricade says Welsh Disestabilis. Got the coal strike. The New Order of Things. Justice is Blind. All right, last book, and then I think I'm going to call it a night. It's been almost an hour and a half. Let's see if there's any comments. I don't see any new comments. Punch magazine, 1940. This one might have some World War II stuff. Maybe the beginnings of World War II politics. Oh, yep, there you got the soldiers. Looks like this one has some staining. Again, you got the Balkans, you have the National Socialist protection, you got the Soviet protection. Yep, this one will definitely have some, shall we say, World War II. I don't want to use certain words, but yep, definitely some World War II contents. All right, well, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great Monday night. Feel free to hit that like button if you're still watching.